Today's lesson is on only adding. Isn't that good news? Yeah. So you don't have to think about, am I going to add, am I going to subtract? Today we're strictly adding. But today we're doing something a little bit different. Our learning target for today is we're going to add fractions that don't have the same denominator. Their denominators are different. So how can we add fractions with unlike denominators? Well, it's easy. You guys already know how to make fractions that are equal to another fraction, and that's all we're going to do today. Okay? So Alex rode his scooter from his house to the park, and then later from the park to practice. So these are the two amounts of distance he went. America, could I have you put that away for now, like I asked earlier? Thanks. Now, some kids might say, well, I'll take 1/2 plus 1/3, I'll add the tops, the numerators, and I'll add the bottoms. And they would get 1/5 and think they were done. But we can't do it like that. We can't add fractions unless they have the same denominator. These don't. We agreed we're going to add. Now, today it is in your best interest, in my opinion, to write your problems the up and down way, so you have plenty of space to show your work next to it. Because it gives two distances that have to get added together. Of course, we'll use addition. So we're going to change these fractions, and we're going to make them into fractions that have the same denominator, just like we did on Friday. So we know we have 1/2 and 1/3. What would be a number that both 2 and 3 would go into? Dathan? Yeah. Anything else? 12, 24, 36. There's a lot of them, right? But we always want to try to get the lowest number possible. So 6 is your best choice. We have to find that common denominator so that we can actually add our two fractions together. So we can make our list just like we did on Friday. And just like he mentioned, 6 is the least common denominator. So now, if I take my 1/2 and I add it onto my 1/3, let's try to make a fraction that has a 6 as a denominator. How would I do 1/3 equals how many sixths? Dathan? What would I do? The rule is what you do to the bottom, you do to the top. So what did I do? Now, you can write this in today, or if you can do it in your head, more power to you. That's great. So what would I have down here? 2. Now let's go to the top. 1/2 equals how many sixths? Will? 3/6, because I multiply both the top and the bottom by 3. Now I can add these two fractions. 3/6 plus 2/6 equals 5/6. Why can I circle this and be done with it? How do I know it's in simplest form? Sarah?
Because they're one number apart.
They are only one number apart. That's exactly right. So let's do some of these just together up here, and then I'll let you try some with me. Now, they chose a common denominator for you. They chose it. They looked at the 2 and they looked at the 9 and they thought, they made their list, I'm sure, and they came up with 18. So they did the work here. They did all the work for you. Can you do the math now? Yeah. Darius? 13 over 18. Am I done, or is that not in simplest form? Brendan says it's not in simplest form. Why not? What's a number other than 1 that'll go into both of them? Are you changing your mind? Yeah. He's changing his mind. It is in simplest form. I know that because I know that 13 is a prime number. Only 1 and 13 go into it, and 13 won't go into 18. So I'm done. That was easy, right? That was super easy, in fact. The next problem, again, they did the work for you. They looked at a 6 and an 8, and they decided 24 was the least common denominator. It worked great. They showed their work. What will they come up with now when they're able to add their fractions? Alan? 17/24. Now, can I circle it? Am I done? Natasha? It is in simplest form. I know that because 17 is a prime number. Only 1 times 17 gives me 17, and 17 will not go into 24. So, done. Okay, help me out. I have 3/4 added on to 7/10. So, I have a 4 and a 10. What would be a good common denominator? I want to find the lowest one possible. America? 40 will work, but there's one even smaller. Now, we can go through this process, and we could have chosen 40. But when you get to the bottom, you'll have to simplify for sure. What do you think, Aaron P? 20. Okay? America, I'm going to come back to you. How did I get from 4 to 20? Now, some kids just think that they can put a 5 here. Can you? No, 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 no. You have to multiply it by what's already there. So what should go up there? 15, okay? America, help me with this. 7/10 equals how many 20ths? 7/10 equals how many 20ths? How did I get from here to here? So what would be my numerator? Okay, great. Who can add those for me in their head? Emma? 29 over 20. 29 over 20. Can I leave that alone? No. Why is that a problem, Dathan? What do we call that? It's an improper fraction. So either you can go over here and show your work, which is perfectly fine, or you can do it in your head. How many 20s are in 29? Shout it out. How many will be left over?
9 20ths.
Now, I would have gotten the same thing if I would have come up here and done this work. Yep. 1 and 9 20ths. Okay? So, there is a lot of work to be done on a problem like this. You are going to need a lot of space today. I would like you to grab your iPad, and I want us to do this next one together. The kids in my first hour told me that the hardest part of every problem today was picking the right denominator. You guys did a really good job on Friday's lesson. This is the same thing. We have a 12 and an 8. What would be the lowest denominator that would work for both? What do you think, Kaylin? One hint is to look at them both and try the bigger of the two. Try the 12. We know 12 will go into 12, but 8 won't go into 12, will it? So we know it's got to be something other than that. 24, she says. She's right. Yep. 24 is our best common denominator, our lowest one. Who would like to switch 1/8 into 24ths for me? Dathan? 8 times 3, 24. Good. How about the top one? 5/12 is the same as how many 24ths? Sarah?
10 24ths.
That's right. We multiply them both by 2. Okay, so now who can add these two fractions for me? Natasha? 13 over 24. Am I okay, or can I simplify?
No.
No, nothing to simplify, because 13 is a prime number, and it won't go into 24. So we're done. We're done. Okay, are you ready for some more? Now, you will notice today that you may have to either write small, or it might take you 2 pages on your iPad just to show your work, and that's okay. Okay, our first problem that we're going to work through together. Two ninths and 1/3. Okay, we decided that 9 was our best common denominator. If this is already a 9, then you just leave it alone. 3 times 3. So, final answer? Sarah? 5/9. Good work. Great. All right, we're moving on. Give me something a little bit challenging, right? A 6 and a 3. What would be a good common denominator for a 6 and a 3? Will? Yeah. Always try the bigger of the two first. That means we can leave this alone. Who can change 1/3 to 6ths for me? Darius? 2 6, okay? When you add them up, what do you get, Darius? Over? It's the same thing as 1. Thank you. We can't leave 6 over 6 alone because it is a whole number. 6 over 6 is 1. Okay, ready for a challenge?
Yeah. Sure.
Okay. Common denominator for a 2 and a 5. Dathan? 10. 20 would work. 30 would work, but 10 is the lowest. So go ahead and get started. Only look up at mine if you are stumped. Sarah, what would be your answer?
11/10.
Okay. Can I box it, circle it, we're done?
No.
Because it's a
Improper fraction.
improper fraction. Now, what are you going to do? I bet you can do this in your head. Kaden? Equals 1 and 1/10. Remember, all we do is do the math, do the division problem. 1 and 1/10. There it is. How many got that one right? Oh, very impressed. Should we try another one like that, a little tougher?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, 3/4 plus 4/5. What would be a good common denominator to get you started? A 4 and a 5. Kiara, what would be a good common denominator? 20. Okay, now I'll let you go to work. Did everybody get that copied? So I can, oh, Alan. 3/4 is how many 20ths? Okay, 4/5 is how many 20ths? So when you add them up, you get 31 20ths. We just can't leave that because it's improper. So when you do the division, what do you get? 1 and 11 20ths. There it is. That's in simplest form. Put your hand high in the air if you got that one right. I am very proud of this group. Nice job.